So today, I want to talk about the music from the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously, there will be spoilers for the show, so I do strongly recommend watching it first. But what I noticed about the music was the presence of leitmotif. For those not initiated into the world of music, a leitmotif is a repeated short musical phrase that can be used to signify something such as a character, idea, or theme. The leitmotif as a musical technique was made quite prominent with 19th century German composer Richard Wagner. However, a more contemporary example that people might recognize is the Force theme from Star Wars. It's played to signify a pivotal moment with the involvement of the Force. Around 4 years ago, a video was published by Every Frame a Painting titled The Marvel Symphonic Universe. Here, random people are asked to sing or hum iconic music from various franchise films. People can recite James Bond, Harry Potter, and of course, Star Wars. When asked to recite a theme from a Marvel film though, no one can do it. But when the video came out, I thought to myself, I can. In fact, Marvel films up to that point had a number of iconic leitmotifs that worked to represent their characters. So why can't people recite these themes? Well, the video essentially argues 3 different points. First, that the music is meant to be background music and is covered up by the sound effects. Second, that the music is composed in a very safe way. And third, that the directors are using temp music in their edits. Temp music is simply music used from another film as a placeholder when editing, but the issue is that directors get too attached to what they've been editing with. This results in composers being asked to emulate the music already being used, leading to homogenized scores in the film industry. However, a lot of people really disagreed with the arguments made in this video, including myself. One person's response, who I fully agree with though, is this title, Why You Actually Don't Remember Marvel Music, uploaded by Julian C.F. Durand. His argument is much simpler, in that he says it's really just a matter of repetition. He says that we remember the Pirates of the Caribbean theme because not only is it used in every film, but it's used extensively throughout marketing and video games. I take the same lesson with Star Wars. Sure, many of these people in the original video were able to hum the Star Wars theme, and I think that the majority of them could also produce the Imperial March, the song from the Cantina, or the Duel of Fates. But what if you asked them to recite the theme of the Trade Federation? I could certainly hum it, but that's because I'm someone who actively listens to John Williams scores, and because the Star Wars games I grew up playing continue to repeat these more obscure tracks over and over again. I think that my experience proves the argument for repetition, at least to myself. And that's really one of my largest issues with the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's a lot of great themes, but they are rarely used outside of their own individual films. In Iron Man 3, Tony gets his own theme. The Guardians of the Galaxy have their own theme. AntMan also has his own theme. At the end of Thor Ragnarok, the Asgardian theme from the first film plays as Thor becomes king. Characters like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel also have their own respective themes. But the problem is a lack of consistency. Captain America has his theme from the first film, and while it's used again in The Winter Soldier, becomes replaced by a newer, less iconic theme that makes sense for the evolution of his character, but is then not carried into Civil War. However, in one of the following films, Age of Ultron, his original theme does appear briefly as a leitmotif. Strangely enough, so does Tony's when he enters the Hulkbuster suit. But the point I'm making is that there's a lack of consistency. If the themes were interwoven between the films and used more regularly, then perhaps the Avengers theme wouldn't be the only one that people remember. After all, isn't it used the most throughout marketing? With this all being said, I think that there are people out there who are definitely familiar with these themes. The Guardians theme is pretty popular, and so is the original Captain America one. However, I think that a lot of people might be surprised to learn that both the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as characters also have their own individual themes. Listen closely. Appropriately enough, Sam Wilson's theme makes a reappearance in Ant-Man, with the two themes switching between who has the upper hand in the fight. This is why the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a show surprised me. In Sam's fight scene of the first episode, you hear his theme return when we last heard it 5 years ago in Ant-Man. In Bucky's Nightmare, where he relives one of his assassinations, we also hear his original Winter Soldier theme from the film of the same name. I understand why his theme was dropped, as he lost his Winter Soldier conditioning, but it's refreshing to hear these themes in an otherwise musically inconsistent franchise. I know that there are some examples that I missed, but ultimately, the Marvel Cinematic Universe's biggest mistake was to not plan out how its music was incorporated between films.